Welcome back, Prealgebra students, to Lesson 67. We're going to use ratios to compare. So our first problem is 67.1. And we can use ratios to determine unit prices. That's what this lesson is all about. We only have two problems. So let's jump into the first one. The first one says this. If 20 pounds of beans sold for $1.20, that's some cheap beans, what was the price per pound of beans? So let's look at our ratio. Our numbers are 20 pounds, so pounds, of beans sold for this dollar amount. So we have pounds per dollar. That's what we need to find out. So we have 20 pounds at $1.20. Okay? We need to reduce this to 1 pound per pound. So 1 pound. That's what we need to find out. So 1 pound of beans is going to be X. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to say 20 times X is 20X. If I could actually write today, 20x equals, and $1.20 times 1 is $1.20, right? So we divide both sides by 20, just like normal. We get 20 divided by 20 is 1x, and that's going to equal, the way that you can handle this, do it in your head, is you can get rid of the decimal point temporarily. You could say 120 divided by 20. That is, we reduce it by 10. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now we put that back into a decimal form, and that becomes 0.06. Okay, so 6 cents per pound, per 1 pound. Because we would replace this up here. You would rewrite it and say that is 1 pound is 6 cents. Now, remember what I told you in the previous lesson, that if you can, let me just go ahead and do this. I'm going to put it in here. I'll fill it in for X. If you can reduce this to this, right, then you know you've got the right answer. So if we say 20 times 1 is 20, then we should be able to say that 20 times 6 cents is $1.20. And if we pull up our calculator, we can do that. We can say 20 times 0.06 is $1.20. So there we go. The other thing you can do is just use your calculator. 1.20 divided by 20 to check your work is 0.06 cents. So that is correct. All right, we have another problem. I'm going to clear the page and put it up here for us. All right, so this is a problem that is going to help you a lot when you go grocery shopping. Proportions is something you're going to use every day, especially when you're grocery shopping and trying to compare prices. So this problem said the big can held 16 ounces and cost 80 cents, right? The small can held 12 ounces and cost 72 cents, which was the better buy. So we're going to start with the big can. 16 ounces was 80 cents, right? So we want to reduce that down to find out something that is, we can find something that is comparable between these two, some unit of measure that makes sense. So what we can do is we can divide and find out what the cost per ounce for each can is, because that is the unit of measure that they have in common. They have ounces in common. It's a different quantity of ounces, but it's still ounces. So we're going to bring this down. This is ounces, and you write that OZ, and then this is cents, 80 cents. So we want to bring this down to 1 ounce and find out how much that one costs, right? And this is the big can. And the little can, we want to figure out what it was. It was 12 ounces. Again, ounces and cents for 72 cents. Well, just looking at this in my head, I can figure out that this is probably the better deal. But let's do the math to make sure. So I want to bring this down to 1 ounce and find out what 1 ounce of the small can actually costs us. So we're going to cross multiply. 16x is equal to 80 over here. And 12 times x is equal to 72 over here. So we're just going to divide 80 by 16 and find out what x is over here. And then 12, we're going to divide 72 by 12 and find out what x is over here. So let's pull up our calculator. And when we divide 80 divided by 16, we get 5 cents per ounce. Okay? When we divide over here 72 by 12 ounces, we get 6 cents per ounce. So the big can is the better deal because per ounce it is cheaper. That is something that you need to remember when you go to the grocery store. You take the cost for the total thing, and you divide it by the unit of measure, and then you can compare. But you've got to find a similar comparison mechanism. Sometimes it's going to be something like 3 for $1, right? 3 of this brand for $1, and 4 of this brand for $1.20, especially when you're looking at like sodas and things like that. Sometimes they'll have the prices like this. It's the same thing. This is a ratio. All you're doing is, let me scroll this over, you're saying 3 over 1. That's your ratio here, right? So you want to figure out what 1 costs. And that's easy enough. 1 is equal to x, right? So 3 times x equals 1. We divide both sides by 3. So x is 1/3. You know, we know that's about 33 cents, right? Right? That's about what that is. Okay. Same thing for this. If you go 4 over 120, we want to find out what 1 item is. So 4x equals 120 times 1, 120. We divide both sides by 4, and we find out that x is equal to 30 cents. So this, even though you're spending 20 cents more, it's cheaper per item, right? Something inside of you probably said, well, that's the better price. And if you did, then you're intuiting math. Did you know that you could do that? I bet you didn't know that you could do that, but you can. You don't know why. You didn't know why that this looked like the better price, but for some reason it felt like the right price, right? Now you've proved it. Now you know how to find out exactly whether or not it's the right price. And yes, this one is only 30 cents per item, but this brand is 3 cents per item cheaper. And in the long run, if you were to buy 4 of these, 4 times 33 would be, that's 2 carry 1, that'd be $1.32 versus $1.20, 4 and 4. So this is by far the better deal. That's what you can use. This is what you want to use when you go to the grocery store. This, my dear, is how you make your mama proud of your pre-algebra. And you show her that it is useful in real life. You are going to use this particular device of math for the rest of your life. So you need to pay attention and learn it now. It is going to save you money, which will help make you wealthier because you will shop smarter and spend less in the long run. All right. Also, I used to teach a extreme couponing class. No surprise to anybody there, I'm sure. But that is what you're looking for. You're looking for the cost per ounce, the cost per item. Those are things that are going to tell you which one is your better deal. And we figure that out through proportions and ratios. All right, that is all we have for lesson 67. I'll see you in lesson 68.